Welcome you all to the new video in international trade. We have been discussing the topic trade and economic development. So we are splitted this topic into three: trade theory and economic development, trade as an engine of growth, contributions of trade to development. So these are all about trade and economic development. Last class we discussed trade as an engine of growth. This time we have contributions of trade to development. This is not a complex topic. This is a simple topic. So let's discuss briefly the contributions of international trade to the economic development of nations involved in international trade. So this is our topic today, the contributions of trade to development. That means the contributions of international trade to the economic development of nations involved in international trade, export and import. So let's look at the background of the study. The international trade is actually benefiting both developing nations and developed nations, but international trade is benefiting developed nations and developing nations not alike. So the rate of benefit from trade to the developed nations and developing nations is actually different. For example, still international trade contributes to the development of developing nations in many ways. Let's discuss the ways in which international trade is benefiting both developed and developing nations. So let's start the presentation. First one is a full utilization of resources. There may be some resources in several nations which remain underutilized or unutilized. For example, there are some laborers who remain unutilized. That is the case of unemployment. So this unemployment can be corrected as the export sector is active in that nation. That means the export sector will generate more and more employment. So this is utilization of unemployed or underemployed resources. Labor is not the only unemployed resource. There are so many natural resources that may be remaining underemployed or unemployed. Similarly, if there is any kind of excess supply, overproduction, that commodities can be exported to other nations. So this is another way of utilizing excess resources by international trade. So international trade is helpful for the nation for the full utilization of resources, including factors, labor, capital and other commodities produced by the nation. The second one is division of labor and economies of scale. So you know the division of labor and economies of scale. So how does trade contribute to the division of labor and economies of scale? That is the topic that we have been discussing. So international trade will open up the market, the domestic market for the foreign producers and foreign markets for the domestic economy. So this is opening up the market. So this will expand the size of the market of the nation involved in international trade. So this enables the laborers to be deployed in selected sectors, as they can choose the sector, as some countries will specialize in some commodities. This is the basis of international trade. So this will enable the laborers in selected sectors. It will increase the productivity and economies of scale. So I'm requesting you to remember the kind of division of labor and economies of scale through international trade. Can you remember? Can you say at least one example for that? Okay, I'm giving you one example for that. So international trade enabled the import of one important device that all of us are using for the day-to-day living. This is mobile phone. So mobile phones are being produced in India and also being imported from some nations, especially from China. There are so many Chinese brand high quality phones being imported in India. So this import of commodities have led to the opening of so many mobile shops in India. So this is the benefit of globalization. So that enabled to make us so many mobile technicians in India. So they are working in mobile phone related services. So they have increased their productivity as they concentrated in mobile phone servicing and similar kind of services. So this is one of the benefits of international trade. So that means international trade led to opening of so many mobile shops in India, and it has led to the emergence of so many mobile technicians in India. This is the division of labor, and it has increased the productivity of our mobile phone service sector in India. Similarly, you can see so many examples. You just think about that. So trade is known as a vehicle of innovation. Why does it called a vehicle of innovation? It is a vehicle of innovation as it is bringing a new technology from one country to another country. It is bringing a new technology from India to United States. It is bringing new technology to from United States to India. This is a kind of transfer of technology, and besides technology, we have another kind of transfer of innovation in the form of managerial skills. It is human resource, it is expertise. So there are so many software engineers working in United States who are originally from India. This is the kind of service, this is the kind of trade, and we are also exporting services in the form of software. TCS, Tata Consultancy Service, is an important service provider in India which has been exporting immensely the services to various nations. This is a huge multinational company, Tata Consultancy Service. So this is a vehicle of innovation. Trade is called a vehicle of innovation. So another point is trade stimulates capital flow. This is one way in which trade is contributing to the economic development of nations involved in export and import of commodities and services. So you think, how does trade stimulate capital flow? Capital flow is investment. That may be foreign direct investment or foreign portfolio investment which has been happening through stock market or other capital market instruments. So trade stimulates capital flow. It is stimulating the flow of capital from developed nations to developing nations. So this is, for example, this is happening in two ways. One way is foreign investment is likely to be promoted in a nation where international trade is bringing growth to the nation. So for example, foreign investment will come into the export sector as it is generating income, it is contributing immensely to the economic development. So foreign investment is likely to be promoted in the export sector on the one hand, and it is also inducing the investment in an economy where it is developed because of international trade. So these are the two ways in which foreign investment capital flow will take place in a nation involved in international trade. So international trade stimulates domestic demand. How does international trade import? How does import stimulate domestic demand in a nation? It stimulates the demand as the varieties of commodities are available only because of international trade. So we have got so many mobile phones in India, as we import immensely from China. Oppo phone, I think it is from China, and there are so many other mobile phones being produced in China and imported by India. So this will create demand in India for Chinese brand mobile phones. That means it stimulates domestic demand. Similarly, as international trade promotes efficiency in production, low cost commodities will be started to be available in the nation, as it is facing heightened competition from the foreign companies. Sixth one is international trade stimulates competition in the domestic economy, as it is facing heightened competition from the foreign companies. So the domestic firms will try to improve the efficiency, they will try to improve the quality, they will try to reduce the cost of production, and the efficient commodities will be available as it is facing competition from the foreign companies. So this will promote competition, and consumers will be benefited as competition is in practice. So another point is availability of product variety. Only because of international trade, so many branded commodities can be exported, can be imported, although there is no plant for the company, for the brand in India. We can import the commodity, so the product varieties are available. For example, mobile phone and automobile, even automobile company, mobile brands are being imported. So this is the kind of benefit that a nation gains from international trade: availability of product variety. International trade promotes production efficiency. Already we have talked about efficiency. Production efficiency is an important benefit of international trade, as it creates and faces competition from the foreign company. As foreign companies try to enter into the domestic market, domestic producers will also try to improve the quality, and they will try to produce at low cost, at the least cost, so the consumers will get the commodities at low price, but without compromising quality. Another benefit is international trade reduces price fluctuation. This is not trade fluctuation, this is price fluctuation. As international trade is in practice, the price stability can be attained, as when there is higher price in the foreign country, less commodities will be imported as price is high. When foreign price is low, more commodities will be imported. So this is the way in which the foreign price and domestic price are stabilized. So finally the stability will be obtained because of international trade. Utilization of surplus produce. As excess produce can be exported, overproduction will not be existing, as if there is any excess supply, the commodity can be exported. So the foreign exchange can be earned as exporting the excess production in the country. So this is the utilization of the surplus produce. So another benefit is earning foreign exchange from exporting commodities and services. Foreign exchange is useful for many purposes, without which we cannot survive in a global context like the present time. So foreign exchange is used for import bill payment, import for servicing import bill. For making import bill payment, we need foreign currency. Foreign exchange is required for making foreign investment abroad. Foreign exchange is required for keeping a reserve, minimum reserve for printing currency. This is the base of the money supply in a nation. So this is so vital for a nation. So foreign exchange, remind you, in 1991 we had a BOP crisis, as we had almost exhausted the foreign exchange reserve. So this is so vital. India and all other nations need foreign currency, foreign exchange to pay import bill, to make foreign investment, to service our foreign debt. So trade is an important factor contributing immensely to international trade of a nation, involved in export and import of commodities and services. Thank you.